Okay, hello. This is the last time I've tried to film this about 40 times. That's not even an exaggeration. Not even an exaggeration. I think I'm just nervous, to be honest, but yeah. This is going to be the last time and that's it. So my name is Ciara. Hello. Welcome to this channel. Yeah, this is my first video, my first proper video for this channel. Yeah, and I'll just briefly introduce myself. So my name is Ciara. I am 23 years old. I am from Ireland, which is the accent. If it's difficult to understand, I do apologise, but I'm going to try and speak as slowly as I can. For this video, I'm basically just going to talk about some of the books that I acquired on my recent trip to America. And we went to California and then also over to New York briefly, and I acquired some books along the way, so I'm just going to briefly talk about them. Some of them I've started, some of them I haven't started, some of them I finished. I have 5 books all in all to discuss, so just a quick video just to kind of open it up. The first bookstore that we went to was the Last Bookstore in LA, which was beautiful. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was the Last Bookstore. It's exactly what you see in the pictures. It's exactly what it is there. I knew I wanted this book and I seen it in the Last Bookstore and I thought, I'm going to get this. So it was what I talk about when I talk about Running by Haruki Murakami. And this book was incredible. It was very, very good. It was brief and it was short. Quite an easy read, but also quite a motivational one as well. And it's essentially Murakami writes in this about writing, about how he motivates himself to write and how he discovered he wanted to be a writer. But he equates that as well with his love and his obsession for running. Those two things juxtaposed is fascinating. It's just incredibly moving at times as well, and I think it definitely left a lasting impression with me. It's one of those books I was like, I want to give to people to read. So I said to my dad, I was like, my dad is a runner. He's not really a big reader, but he is a runner. I was like, you should read this book. And he says, yeah, okay, well, whatever. And he usually starts books and never finishes them, but he adored this book and he read it from cover to cover. It's about so much more than running. It's about so much more than writing. It's about art forms. It's about exercising. It's about loneliness, but also those things that you do that are like solitary experiences that you have by yourself, like running or writing, and those are both two things that you do very much on your own. It's fascinating how he writes about coping with that sense of being alone, and it was very, very good. And it was honestly made me want to start running for a while, but I'm not a runner, we'll just put it that way. The next bookstore we went to then was in New York. In New York we did a bookstore tour, so we went to like various different bookstores, and then in between going to the bookstores we did like the Empire State Building and stuff like that. The first one we went to was a Barnes & Noble, and I really wanted to go to a Barnes & Noble. I had to go. I could not go to a Barnes & Noble whilst being in America. The book I got in Barnes & Noble is one I sort of regret getting now. My reading taste has just very much changed in the meantime since we went on that trip. And the book I got anyway, it was The Muse of Nightmares by Laini. So I read Strange the Dreamer about a year ago probably now. And Strange the Dreamer, which is the first book in this duology. I enjoyed Strange the Dreamer. I did. It was good. It was entertaining. It didn't really give me anything, but it wasn't very edifying. But at the same time, it was entertaining, and that was good. I think maybe it's because I waited so long between Strange Dreamer and then buying and reading this. I'm on page 180, and it's good, but it's not incredible. It's not mind-blowing, or nor is it addictive. It's neither of those things, and for that reason I haven't finished it, and I probably will finish it at some stage. I don't really know what to say about it. If you've read Strange the Dreamer, probably should read this if you enjoyed it. It probably is good. I think maybe when I started reading it, my head just wasn't really in the right place for reading it. Yeah, Muse of Nightmares. Oh yeah, I should probably say that this book here I would probably give like a 4 out of 5 stars to. I just wish there was more, I think. I just wish it was longer. But yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for this one. This one I haven't finished, so I don't really want to say. The next book is this one, which is Motherhood by Sheila Heti. This again is another very popular book. They're all very popular books. They're books that I've heard about and knew I wanted to go and buy. But this I give 5 out of stars. 5 out of 5. This book I gave 5 out of 5 stars to. It was incredible. It's an incredible discussion on motherhood in the world we live in now, and the pressure to be a mother, and how to be a mother you have to sacrifice other things. Your art, your job, your desires, your passions, and as a woman, those are often sacrificed when you become a mother. Discusses how it's probably not really the same. It's not the same if you become a father, And it opens that sort of discussion on what it means to be a mother and why there's so much pressure on women to become mothers, and how there's this sense that if you're not a mother, there's this sense of failure. This book is a mix between novel and essay. The narrator during it is at this age where she has to sort of make this decision to either have a child soon or accept the fact that she'll be too old then and she'll never be able to have a child. And it reads with that sort of urgency. The tone of the book is one of urgency. It's one of I have a decision to make, and she discusses the impact that that decision will have on her body, on her relationships, on herself, on her art, on her life in general, and it's incredible. And for any woman, man as well, any man as well, honestly, I think anybody, it's an exceptional book, and it's one that will stay with you after you've read it. So I would definitely recommend Motherhood by Sheila Heti. Another book that I got just briefly, we went to the Strand bookstore in New York as well, which was my favourite one. It was my favourite bookstore of them all. The Strand bookstore, big one. In the Strand, I bought Stephen King's On Writing, and I've read about half of Stephen King's On Writing. You can see there's probably a bit of a pattern with that book and the On Writing by Stephen King. And Stephen King's one of those writers who's incredible at his genre. He's incredible at his work, you know. And it's interesting to read something by Stephen King that's not horror. It's more of a reflection on his own life and his own writing. And I'm enjoying it so far. I just don't have it with me. It's another one I would recommend for anyone who's considering writing or just is interested in Stephen King in general, or again, if you love writing or if you love reading, it's a book that I would recommend you to read. So the last book I'm going to talk about, I have not even started yet. I think I'm just too nervous to sort of start this. Well, I'm on page 30, so I haven't really read it, but this is my most prized possession, and it is Bridge of Clay by Markus Zusak. I was waiting on this to come out for so long, so long, and then I went to Santa Cruz while we were away on holiday. Markus Zusak was doing a book signing, and he signed my book, so it says, "Dear Ciara, love and best, Markus Zusak." And he put me and my boyfriend got our picture taken, and we were on his Instagram, and it was just an amazing time. And Markus Zusak spoke before the signing, and he was so compelling, he was brilliant, he was so funny. And obviously The Book Thief is incredibly popular. The Book Thief is one of my favourite books. The Book Thief is amazing. This reads very differently than The Book Thief does, well, from the 30 pages that I've read so far. But I'm very, very excited to read more of this book, and because I think it'll be brilliant, because I think he is brilliant, and I think he's a brilliant mind. And although it reads differently, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. If it read exactly the same as The Book Thief did, then I'm not entirely sure it would be worthwhile. That's that finished. The books that I got when I was away, I think there may be possibly one or two more that I've sort of neglected, but if I do find them more, oh, I don't know. No, that's it. That's them all. Pretty confident that's them all. And yeah, that's me. Thank you for watching this if you did watch it. This was a bit of an awkward start, but you know, you can only go up from here. So thank you again. Thanks.